Hello and welcome to TTV News with some latest events in TayNinhTV province. Ladies and gentlemen, on the afternoon of September 30th, the National Assembly delegation of TayNinhTV province, including Mr. Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, member of the Village Bureau, Secretary of the Party Central Committee, Head of the Central Propaganda and Training Department, Mr. Huỳnh Thanh Phương, member of the Provincial Party Committee, Secretary of Goyou District Party Committee, had a meeting with voters of the communes including Phước Ninh, Phước Minh, Lộc Ninh and Bến Củi of U Minh Châu District before the 8th session of the 15th National Assembly.
At the conference, Mr. Huỳnh Thanh Phương informed the voters about the expected content and program of the 8th section that the National Assembly is expected to consider for 30 contents of legislative work and 15 groups of contents on considering and deciding on the socio-economic issues, the state budget, the supervising and deciding on other important issues under its authority. And there is also the section with the largest volume of work expected to be submitted to the National Assembly for consideration and decision since the beginning of the 15th term. At the meeting, Mr. Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa also informed the voters of U Minh Châu District about some contents related to the domestic and international security and political situation and the socio-economic development situation of the country. At the same time, he hoped that the people of U Minh Châu District would continue to work and produce, making many practical contributions to the socio-economic development, ensuring the national security and defense of the province.
Previously, on the morning of September 30th, the National Assembly delegation of TayNinhTV province, including Mr. Phạm Hùng Thái, Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Head of the National Assembly delegation of TayNinhTV province, Mr. Huỳnh Thanh Phương, Provincial Party Committee member, Secretary of Goyou District Party Committee, had a meeting with more than 150 voters in the communes of Thành Đức, Cẩm Giang, Hiệp Thạnh, and Phước Trạch. In this meeting, voters had a number of opinions and recommendations to the National Assembly delegates, such as necessity of a support policy for local veterans, so establishing a university in the province, implementing the law on military service to ensure fairness for all people, repainting the median strip on National Highways 22 and 22B, recommending timely funding for grassroots activities, and strictly controlling current electricity prices for people and businesses. Representatives of the personal sector responded to some opinions and recommendations of voters right at the meeting, and the delegates also noted some opinions and recommendations of voters and forwarded them to specialized agencies for response in the coming time. Ladies and gentlemen, on the morning of September 30th at Goyou District Party Committee, a conference was held to announce the decision of the Provincial Party Standing Committee on personnel work. Mr. Phạm Hùng Thái, Standing Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Head of the National Assembly delegation of the province, Mr. Huỳnh Thanh Phương, member of the Provincial Party Committee, Secretary of Goyou District Party Committee, attended the meeting.
At the conference, the Provincial Party Committee's organizing department announced the decision of Provincial Party Standing Committee on the assignment of Ms. Nguyễn Thị Thanh Nhàn, Standing Deputy Secretary of the District Party Committee, Chairwoman of the People's Council of Goyou District, to work as the Department of Home Affairs from October the 1st of 2024. And on the same afternoon, at the Department of Home Affairs, Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Thanh, member of Provincial Party Standing Committee, Permanent Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee, also attended and presented the decision of the Provincial People's Committee on appointment of Ms. Nguyễn Thị Thanh Nhàn, Permanent Deputy Secretary of the District Party Committee of Goyou District, Chairwoman of the People's Council of Goyou District, to hold the position as Deputy Director of the Department of Home Affairs. According to the decision of Provincial People's Committee, she was appointed to hold the position as Deputy Director of the Home Affairs. The term of office is 5 years, starting from October 1st of 2024.
The audience, the Provincial People's Committee gave opinions and unanimously approved many important contents at the September 2024 regular meeting held on the morning of September 30th. along with the assessment and analysis of the positive and negative aspects in the implementation of socio-economic tasks in the first 9 months of 2024. Leaders of the Provincial Bills Committee, Provincial Bills Council Committees, and leaders of departments and branches gave opinions and agreed on the contents submitted by the Department of Construction, including draft assignments of tasks to organize appraisal and decision on authorization to approve cost estimates for implementing a number of public services in TayNinhTV province, draft decision on regulating the rental price framework for social housing invested in construction, not using public investment capital, trade union financial sources in the province. Draft decision regulating the price framework for management and operation of apartment buildings in TayNinhTV province. The Department of Transport submitted for approval the unit price of public career services for the regular management and maintenance of roads and inland waterways in the province. The Provincial Bills Committee agreed with the draft decision regulating the criteria for selecting college-level preschool education students in the form of assignments in TayNinhTV province. At the same time, it also agreed to invite participants to establish a university branch on the basis of reorganizing TayNinhTV Pedagogical College, agreed with the content of the presentation of the Provincial Bills Committee Office on the content of program of the 4th Congress of Ethnic Minorities in TayNinhTV province in 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the Department of Disaster Management and Natural Disaster Prevention, in the first 6 months of this year, natural disaster in our country caused 51 deaths and missing people, with estimated economic losses of more than 877 billion Vietnam dong. It can be said that this is a huge loss caused by natural disasters and floods in recent years.
And the number of the people killed and missing due to the storm number 3 or the Yagi hurricane alone was about 353. The natural disaster, many rain and heavy rain, storms and floods also collapsed and damaged over 266,000 houses. At the same time, they caused a huge damage to the agricultural sector also. The total estimated damage caused by natural disasters since the beginning of the year is up to 53,000 billion Vietnam dong, and storm number 3 and the impact of the storm circulation alone caused just 50,000 billion Vietnam dong in damage. Not only in Vietnam in recent times, the natural disasters such as forest fires, floods, earthquakes have also become increasingly complex in Europe, Asia, and North America, and many causes have been pointed out by scientists and professional units. Most of them are attributed to the climate change. The earth is getting warmer, and from there, storms tend to be stronger. Floods and other forms of natural disaster develop abnormally with a greater frequency. When a super typhoon comes to the friction, when it touches the continent and then endures friction, the storm is still very strong, and that is the structure of the storm is very tight, and when it reaches the continent, it does not break up the clouds much. So why it lasts so long on land with such a strong intensity? Facing with the damage caused by natural disaster in order to stabilize the people's life as soon as possible, from the central to local levels, on priorities have been focused on quickly overcoming the damage, at the same time quickly reinforcing and building the new ties, bridges, and floods and storm prevention works. Statistics up to the end of September, reports from provinces affected by storm number 3 shows that the work of overcoming the consequences of the storm has achieved remarkable results, and many residential areas have gradually stabilized. Our goal is to ensure the safety and health and lives of the people first and foremost. I have said that no one should be left without food, clothing, water or shelter, and this goal must be thoroughly implemented. According to the assessment, from now until the end of 2024, there may be 1 to 2 storms in the East Sea that could affect our country, and the solution to limit the damage caused by storm floods in particular and the national disaster in general is still prevention rather than care, and operating and reinforcing the natural disaster prevention works, investing in equipment and human resources for accurate forecasting to develop appropriate response plans to minimize the damages.
According to the Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam, to prepare for the end of 2024 and be ready for the peak of the Lunar New Year 2025, the Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam has directed Vietnamese Airlines to arrange and balance transportation resources, coordinate with route service units to ensure appropriate low supply. At the same time, early sales of air tickets for the dead period will be implemented so that passengers can choose and develop appropriate travel plans. In addition, the Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam will continue to strengthen the implementation of monitoring and supervising the development of ticket prices and require businesses to implement measures to declare prices, list prices, and publicize price information according to legal regulations, as well as recommend that passengers plan to book tickets early to have more opportunities to choose with suitable ticket price. Ladies and gentlemen, with a constantly renewed product ecosystem and a rich service system, Da Nang tourism industry is expected to continue to achieve high growth in both traditional markets and potential new markets during the peak season of welcoming international visitors in the last months of this year and early next year. The last month of the year are the peak season for international visitors in Da Nang and other destinations in the central region. Da Nang is honored as one of the most economical cities and one of the famous destinations by Indian magazines, Singaporean newspapers, the Philippines, and Thailand. This brings us more job opportunities and is also quite busy in the upcoming peak season tour schedule from now until March next year. With its strength in natural landscape, environments, diverse and unique products, and standard service ecosystem, Da Nang is considered a destination that meets the task of a variety of international visitors. Travel agencies, hotels, and resorts are ready to welcome guests during the peak season. Currently, at Furama Hotel, Korean guests account for about 50%, and their American guests. There are series of small groups of people over 50 years old who come to stay for a long time, and from September to December, and remain their own. According to Da Nang Tourism Association, this year, the city recorded a significant increase from Southeast Asian, Indian, and Japanese markets, maintained good exploitation of the Australian and New Zealand markets, and distant markets such as Europe and America also had impressive growth. We will certainly surpass the peak of 2019, which was 3.5 million international visitors, and in the total markets, both domestic and international, Da Nang hopes to reach around 10 million visitors this year, which is a very optimistic number. This year, many international routes to Da Nang will have more major airlines participating in exploitation. Some airlines increase flights from the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia to Da Nang. It is expected that in October, a direct flight from Ahmedabad, India to Da Nang will also be put into operation by Vietjet Air, hoping to open the door for the central region to deeply access the most populous market in the world.
And in the first 9 months of the year, Vietnam earned for nearly 4 trillion Vietnam dong from the tea export to other countries, exceeding the total turnover of last year. Pakistan continued to be the largest importer of Vietnamese tea with about $62.3 million US dollar, and meanwhile, China spent nearly $13.2 million US dollar buying Vietnamese tea, more than double the same period last year. The tea export to the US also increased sharply, and in the first 9 months of the year, Vietnam exported for 92,008 tons of tea and earning for $162.62 million US dollar, exceeding the export turnover of this item for the whole of last year.
India had just lifted the ban on white rice exports, with the condition for imposing a floor price of $490 US per ton. This South Asian country has an abundant supply with reserves of 32.3 million tons. Experts say that the return of rice from India may force countries such as Vietnam, Pakistan, and Thailand to adjust prices to compete. In fact, India's move has cooled down world rice prices as supply on the world market has increased. Last week, Vietnam's 5% Rocken rice fell to $560 per ton, down $20 compared to the previous week.
And on the morning of September 30th in Hanoi, the office of President coordinated with the Ministry of Public Security, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Supreme People's Court to hold a press conference to announce the amnesty decision of 2024 of the President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. At the press conference, the Deputy Head of the Office of President announced the amnesty decision number 957 signed by the President of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, Tô Lâm, on the September 29th of 2024, which granted amnesty to 3,763 prisoners serving prison sentences and 2 people whose prison sentences are temporarily suspended, who are eligible for amnesty in 2024. The amnesty review process is conducted strictly, closely, publicly, democratically, ensuring the fairness, correct subjects and conditions according to the provisions of law so that all prisoners to meet the conditions are considered for amnesty, and no inmates do not meet the conditions are included in the list.
Dear audience, on September 30th, a press conference was held to announce the President's decision to pardon prisoners before their terms and to organize the release of pardoned people, according to the President's decision, which is on October 1st. And in recent years, literacy classes at prisons under the Ministry of Public Security are no longer unfamiliar to many people. In addition to education and vocational training, every year thousands of prisoners are taught to read and write, which not only contributes to reducing the rate of illiteracy, but also has prisoners become more confident when reintegrating into the community. Dad had lives far away. Dad sent a letter home. Dad said, Dad misses everyone. With a letter from Dad, everyone is so happy. Prisoner Vũ Văn Mạnh, like many other prisoners at Quảng Ninh Prison, Ministry of Public Security, was illiterate when he entered the prison. In addition to working hours, Mạnh participates in literacy classes so that after serving his sentence and returning to his family and community, he will be able to read and write, or at least be able to sign his name. After coming here, the prison officer sent me to school. I can read and write, read newspapers and books. I feel very happy. Because of illiteracy and lack of legal knowledge, many people have fallen in the path of crime. The special class in the prison has become a place to refine the lives of many prisoners. Working hard, reforming and studying, prisoner Đoàn Văn Linh himself has trained and become much better. From an illiterate person, Linh can now write letters to visit his family. Before I was in society, I was illiterate. After coming here, the officers and teachers taught me how to read and write letters to my family. I'm very happy, and when I return, I will be useful to society. For prisoners to be literate, it will create very good conditions for us to disseminate legal knowledge to prisoners. Every year, tens of thousands of prisoners in prisons across the country attend literacy classes. Through these special classes, many prisoners can better serve their sentences and prison regulations. In particular, after serving their sentences and return to their families and society, they integrate better into the community, do not re-offend, and soon become useful people to society. And now that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.